How's it going, everyone? This is Andre Williams, and today we're going to be taking a look at the futures chart for the Nasdaq. So that means if you trade the MNQ or the NQ, this video is for you. I want to make sure you're prepared for the coming week. We got CPI and we also have PPI, we have JOLTS. So there's a lot of events that are going to be coming up, and it's very important that you know what your levels are. So when I get started, when I start doing my analysis, I like to start off on the bigger time frames first. So right now we are on a daily chart, and what do we see right away, right? We had a double top, right? This happened back in February, and then ever since then, what's going on in the market? We've been having lower highs and as well as lower lows. So that tells us that the market is in a downtrend. So now that we have that confirmed, let's go down onto the lower time frames and see what's going on. So we're going to go on to the 30-minute, and we want to see what is the trend. It continues. We have these lower highs and as well as lower lows. So now we're going to go on the 15-minute to do our analysis here. And here's one thing that stands out to me. I like to look at what were the last 2 days of the market before it closed on the week. So taking into consideration Thursday and as well as Friday, March 6th and March 7th to be exact. So what I was noticing inside of the Globex trading, we were having a lot of sellers on the Nasdaq at this 20,200 level. Another thing to take into consideration is the 20,000 number. That is a psychological number. That is a big whole number which a lot of traders and long-term investors are watching. So when we have sellers coming in at 20,200 and then we have buyers defending 20,000, then we want to see what's going to happen when the market opens up on Friday. So what do we end up having here? So when the market opened up around 9:30, I was actually able to take advantage of a trade opportunity. We could talk about that afterwards, where I saw us coming down to a very key area. Not only was it an area where we had the Thursday low when we tapped right at that 20,000, but this is right where we also have the previous quarter low and as well as the previous day low, like I said, from Thursday. So when I saw the opportunity to take a long, I took my long around 20,044, and then I have my stop just under the 20,000 level. I was able to ride it up for 160 points. We'll discuss that further. But afterwards, I didn't take any more trades, but look what ended up happening. We finally broke through that 20,000 level, and we ended up getting down to the lows of 19,766. This is what the current year low is, right? That is the lowest we've ever been since 2025 has started. We had a strong recovery. As you can see, we had a momentum shift. The bulls defended it, and we started to move up higher. On this particular day, we had Trump speaking, and then we also had Powell that was speaking. So you could notice that the volatility, especially as of late for like the past few weeks or even for this year in general, it has been up there. There's been a lot of opportunities. So with that in mind, when we were able to have the price come back up, you could see we also had an inverse head and shoulders here as well. We have our head, left shoulder, right shoulder. We ended up breaking through the previous day low, previous quarter low, more momentum, and then what ends up happening? We end up coming into that same area where we had sellers at 20,200 that was going on in the Globex, in the overnight, the same area around there where I got out of my trade. But what I was looking for was more momentum for us to see if we can get up to 20,300. That is the Monday low. So the low that we got to for the week that just passed. That is a very, very important level, but we were unable to do that. On Friday, we only got up to a high of 20,285. So going into next week, what do we need? What do we need to see this market show us if there's going to be a continuous move to kind of recover from this downtrend that it's been in? So number one, we need to get above 20,300 and hold. If we can get above 20,300 and hold, upon breaking through that Monday low, the next area is where we have the previous week low and the previous month low. That is the next zone. That is where we saw sellers that came in on Thursday, as you could see, between the time of 10:15 going all the way to 11:30. Keep in mind, this is a 15-minute chart. Sellers came in, boom, knocked it down between this 20,400 50 to 20,500, 20,500 being a big psychological number because it's right in the middle where we have 21,000 at the top. And then we sold off coming down into 20,000. So getting here, we know the sellers are going to be coming in. So this is why with CPI and PPI coming in, is the market going to want to see if this is a destination that the bulls are going to support? If they do decide to support it, then we can start looking at the fact of, look where we have this level here. Where did sellers show up? And we have information about this, right? So we can see on Tuesday, this area between 20,650 and then the top being at 20,700. Sellers came in, slapped it down on Tuesday. They also slapped it down again on Wednesday. And then what ended up happening on Thursday during the Globex, during the overnight, what ended up happening, we got rejected at this 20,650. So this is what the upside levels would look like if we decide to go higher and break above this 650 to the 700 level. Then I'd want to see some more momentum for us to see if we can start getting back into that 21,000 area. But now, what happens if the market says, well, you know what, we want to go lower? So the market decides to go lower. We want to watch when that market opens up on Sunday at 6 p.m. EST and as well as for Monday, can it hold 20,200? If it cannot, then we could see it coming down into this level, as you can see here, around the 20,100. If we give that up, 20,000, that whole number. I feel if we take out that 20,000, then we are easily going to get a retest of those lows that we saw on Friday. And if we get a retest of those lows, then you know what? That looks like a double bottom setup, potentially. But we're talking about downside here. So if the market decides to give up the 19,766 that it tested on the Friday, I think the next level that we could come down to is to 19,500. There will be a lot of capitulation. There will be a lot of fear. So getting to the 19,500 level, it will not take a long time for the market to do that. And that's an area where I'd want to see a bounce, right? Between 19,400 to 19,500. Why have this range so big? We know the market definitely likes to grab liquidity. So they know traders are going to watch 19,500. Why not bring it down under it by 100 points or even more? Because I have a next level to show you guys. Get traders out of the position that are trying to anticipate and then move it back up higher, right? So the next level, we decide to give that up. We're talking about the 19,000s here. This is a very aggressive market, a really volatile market. So going into the coming week, if we end up being bearish and continuing to sell off, it would not surprise me if we get down here, okay? So make sure you guys have taken notes. You're looking at all of these levels. I've shown it out to you. Write it down. Take a screenshot. Do whatever you need to do. I want to make sure you're prepared for the coming week with CPI and as well as PPI. So now what we're going to do, let's go over a quick trade recap of what I took on Friday. And I was literally out of the market I think it was like 20 minutes or so. So let's just jump right into it. So as you can see here, I bought one micro at 20,044.50 and it ended up selling it at 20,205.50. Like I was explaining on the charts when we were doing the analysis, when I saw that, we came down into the previous quarter low, previous day low, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a long, put my stop just under that 20,000 level, that whole number, which has been holding, and that was my risk, right? I only wanted to risk like about 50 points on this trade, and then it turned out being a trade where I was able to make 160 points, so that was like a 3-to-1. After that, I was done. I didn't want to spend all day inside this market. It's a volatile market. When you get an opportunity, a really good one at that, just take your money and go. It is very easy to give it back. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. And also just to bring to your attention that Take Profit Trader has a 30% off sale. So if you buy one of their evals, you're going to get 30% for the lifetime of that eval. So if it takes you 2, 3, 4 months, whatever the case may be, you're going to continue to get that 30% off every month. And then when you pass, you do not have to pay any activation fee. It's usually around $130, so you save yourself some money there. If you want to take advantage of that, then you could use my code Andre, all capital letters, at checkout. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you do find a lot of value in this, let me know inside of the comments if I should do more videos like this. Good luck for the coming week because it is going to be volatile. Peace out.